Alright, today's video is going to be a short one. I've shot lots of video on different subjects, however, none of those subjects are quite complete, so I feel like it wouldn't be good quality vlogs if I just threw all those videos together. For today I wanted to talk about composition with wildlife, and I'm not talking about, just waiting for an animal to be facing you or performing some specific action or you moving to try to get no signs of civilization within the background. Of course, you're always going to have some sort of background, and I'm guilty of shooting at a really shallow depth of field. Of course, I do that so then I could raise my shutter speed higher and allow as much light with it onto the sensor as possible. What I'm talking about specifically is taking into consideration the landscape or the environment the animal is within. To explain what I mean, I'll go over a few examples. So for this first photo, this was shot during vlog 1. If you've seen vlog 1, you'll recognize it. For the sheep, I didn't want to just simply take photos of it, and it just seemed like it'd be kind of boring. And within this field, I noticed that there was these patches of yellow flowers, so I moved myself over to where they were at, and I got down low, and using my telephoto lens, I wanted to bring the sheep, like the background, closer to the foreground. I tried to focus stack these images, but that didn't work out so well. I ended up just settling with having a out of focus foreground. Another thing I'd do differently about this photo is I would have moved slightly more to the left or to the right, because these trees right here look like they're protruding from the sheep's head. And it always looks weird when in the background there's objects that look like they're protruding from an animal's limbs or their head. This next photo was actually shot fairly recently. It was shot when I was filming vlog 4 part 1. I didn't show it in the video though. So for this photo, there was quail on the other side of these dead branches. I wasn't gonna take the picture of the quail at first, but then I saw there was an opening in these dead branches, so I figured I'd shoot through them, and I thought maybe I could get a quail within frame, and sure enough, there was one quail standing there, so I was able to get a picture of it. And you can see some quail behind it running by. This photo reminds me of a street photography photo in a way, and that I know that kind of sounds weird to say because it's obviously a picture of quail, and it's definitely not out in the street or within a city. But for a lot of street photography photos I've seen, there's photos where you'd have a single subject that's highlighted or framed, and there'd be people around that subject that are blurry and of course not in frame or highlighted. And I feel like this photo meets all those characteristics, but instead of with people, it's with quail. And instead of a city, it's within the environment. So for this last photo, this was taken at Sarah's Crack, which is a trail that's kind of like on the outside of town. I went there to get photos of mountain sheep, and I got some photos before this that turned out pretty good. While I was taking pictures of the mountain sheep, I noticed a hawk up above me. So I went up the mountain to try to get closer to the hawk and try to get good photos of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that hawk. So then I decided to move closer to where the sheep were at. This time I was higher above them, and it looked like before I stopped taking photos of them that they were already on their way heading up, so I figured I'd be able to intercept them. Sure enough, this one sheep came up to this ledge. At first I was up higher than the sheep, and I was taking photos of it, and there was just desert in the background, like faraway desert, and like there wasn't very good separation between where the sheep was at and its background. And then I started kind of picturing in my head that maybe I could get the lake within the photo and just kind of have like this big epic expansive landscape. So what I did was hike down the hill that I was on so I was level with the sheep, and then I started snapping photos, and That's how I got this photo. So this photo came out pretty epic just because I went down the mountain and tried to get level with the sheep, so you could see like how high up we both were. So hopefully that made sense of how I try to consider the landscape or environment that animal is within. That's gonna do it for this video. If you have any thoughts on anything I said, comment down below, and thank you for watching.